Hi everyone, welcome to Yin Yoga, Restorative Yoga and Gentle Movement. My name is Michelle Chua. For this practice, you'll want as many props as you might need to be comfortable in certain poses for long periods of time. So that might be 2 yoga blocks, a strap, a pillow, a blanket, and anything else around you that might help support your body. And let's begin the practice lying down in a version of corpse pose. So that could mean placing a pillow underneath the backs of your knees like this. If you're feeling any tension in the lower back, it can help bring relief. It could mean splaying the knees apart so that you begin to open up your hips. You could also place a block under each outer thigh to support your thighs. We're going to be here for a few minutes, so make sure that you're setting yourself up comfortably to be still. Maybe you want a blanket, whether to rest your head on or to drape over your body. So get situated in your corpse pose where we'll start. Make any slight adjustment so that you can offer your body love and comfort. And if you're just, a few people are still joining right now, so I'm pausing a moment since this is a live recording. So those of you that have landed in that position of rest, you might close your eyes, maybe set a hand to the heart center, a hand to the lower belly, or turn the palms face up by your sides. And if you're just connecting on audio, we're beginning lying down in any variation of corpse pose. So yesterday, we talked about what the Yoga Sutra calls the 9 obstacles to inner freedom. And this is looking at the goal of yoga as inner freedom. So what are those 9 roadblocks that we can come across? And then we listed them yesterday, and I asked us to look into how they might come up during our yoga practice. And we were practicing being compassionate with ourselves when they showed up. So I want to dig a little deeper into that list of 9, and maybe some will resonate more with you and others may not. And I want to start with this question, and I'm citing Summer Cushman's article on Yoga Sutra 1.30. What stands in the way of your inner freedom? The so-called goal of yoga. What keeps your mind, body, and breath in a state of agitation rather than a state of peace? And this is not just when you're practicing yoga. Maybe this is when you're at work or you're just moving throughout your week. What comes up for you? So by identifying these 9 roadblocks that I'll dive a little deeper into, we can then choose to respond consciously, naming them, bringing awareness to them with satya. Remember that practice of the second limb of yoga? Truthfulness, first limb of yoga. So by responding consciously, then we're not just swept away by them without our knowledge. So the first obstacle is sickness or disease. And sometimes sickness is simply an inconvenience for a little bit, or it's short-lived, or it's long-term and maybe even life-ending. So it can be an obstacle to our sense of inner freedom, and sometimes it's not. It depends on how we relate to it, how we respond. Now, the second obstacle is apathy, or mental dullness, or idleness. It's a state of mind that's missing fire. Remember that solar plexus Manipura chakra energy, that fire of will? So if we're trying to move in a particular direction in any area of our life, if we're trying to influence the direction of change in our lives, we've got to have some fire, that Agni, some ability to put forth effort to move into action. Notice if that one resonates. The third obstacle is doubt. When the mind is full of doubt, it's easy to convince ourselves that our goal is actually impossible. and therefore we shouldn't even try. We become idle and apathetic, like the second obstacle. Here's a question. Do you have faith that inner freedom is a state of being that you are capable of experiencing? Remember yesterday I talked about how those ancient teachers of yoga, like Patanjali, who wrote this, the Yoga Sutras, reminds us that that inner freedom is not something out there, but it's inherent in who we are. And so in noticing these obstacles, we're sort of peeling away the layers so that we can remember this true essence. So some healthy skepticism, right, related with doubt in this complicated world is useful. There are a lot of people in this world that claim to have absolute truth to offer you, and they don't want you to have any doubt about what they're saying. Doubt becomes an obstacle to our inner freedom when we lose faith in the wise voice of our inner teacher. Take a deep breath where you are, in through the nose, and extend that exhale out through the mouth. And begin to feel more depth in your breath, grounding through them. Now, the fourth obstacle is carelessness, which can be understood as impulsivity or negligence. Have you ever made a rash decision that you later regretted? Or taken hasty action before you actually understood the situation and therefore made the problem worse? Carelessness is the opposite of intention. The reason we're constantly asking the question in yoga, what's real now? What's present? What are we working with? Is because we want to keep our awareness grounded in the reality of the present moment. We want to pause for at least a breath so we can respond to whatever's happening within or around us with intention rather than carelessness. Now begin to allow your breath to flow slowly and evenly, closing the lips, if that's available for you, softly narrowing the back of your throat, and inviting a very subtle whispering sound to the breath. This is practicing Ujjayi pranayama, victorious breathing technique, still lying down and resting in your corpse pose. Now, the fifth obstacle to inner freedom is sloth, laziness, or lethargy, lack of energy. And it's very much connected to feeling disheartened or small. The sixth obstacle is indulgence or lack of restraint. This is about craving and the inability to abstain from choices that damage our senses. So while Summer says she disagrees with the moralism that deems sensual pleasure as sin, she does understand that there are healthy and unhealthy ways of engaging our senses. How do we experience sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch? How do we keep our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin healthy, which in turn impacts the health of our mind? Inner freedom can absolutely include sensory pleasure, but it doesn't include compulsion. Seventh obstacle is confusion or lack of clear seeing. It's distorted perception or misapprehension. We're all quite capable of deluding ourselves and justifying our actions. But if we're serious about moving in the direction of inner freedom, we have to get really honest. There's that practice of satya. We have to practice self-awareness, and that's svadhyaya. We need to pay attention to our own apathy, carelessness, laziness, or overindulgence when it comes. We're all human. Inner freedom isn't about hiding from the truth. It's about clearing away all the obstacles that keep us separated from the larger truth of our being. And now we're down to the eighth obstacle, and that is groundlessness, or the inability to build a foundation of practice. It's the feeling of never quite getting anywhere, of spinning in circles without ever making progress. And one key solution to that in one of the sutras is to show up and show up and show up, be consistent. Now, the last obstacle, the ninth, is about losing the foundation of practice once you get it. You finally make some progress, but then you fall right back in the opposite direction. Now, did any of these resonate with you in your yoga practice or anywhere else in which you are striving to attain a goal, where might you feel stuck? Where do you feel constriction in your breath at times? Or restlessness in your body, or pain in your mind? So let's do the work of self-care, the true work of self-care, and really identifying when we're coming across those kinds of roadblocks, to see them more clearly and to respond with intention and compassion for ourselves. Now, as you continue to even out the breath, that soft whisper through the nose, begin to stretch your arms up and overhead. Stretch your legs forward, rolling out your feet at the ankles, rolling out your hands at your wrists. Keeping that fluid breath going. Now, if you have anything underneath your body, you might want to just pull that out so that you're completely on the ground here. Then bend your right knee into your chest. Draw your thigh towards the right side of your rib cage. For a few breaths, rest the backs of your shoulders on the ground. Lengthen the front and back of your neck. This pose is called wind relieving pose, or apanasana. And it can offer some release in the lower back, in the hip area, if you're feeling tension there. So let's use these physical poses to open up our bodies, invite energy to flow more freely, especially through the breath. And then bring that sense of calmness and clarity to the mind as we observe if there are any roadblocks here in the process. Extend your right leg forward, bend your left knee into your chest. Slide your thigh towards the left side of your rib cage. Again, relax your two shoulders down. You might be doing a mindful scan of your body. Notice if there's any place prominently holding tension right now. And then again, with loving kindness, just being aware of it. So as we come across postures that might target those areas even more, you bring that mindfulness into the approach. And now let's bend both knees into your chest. Softly rock side to side a few times. We'll give our lower back a little massage as we warm up our hips, taking hold of your bent knees with your hands. Inhale, circle your thighs apart. Exhale, draw your knees together. And just like that, a few more breaths. And switching directions. Gently lubricate your hip joints. Warm up your inner and outer thighs. And give your lower back and glutes a little massage. Let's give it another 4 slow breaths here. And as you draw your bent knees together again, either turn over to one side or rock forward, whichever is easiest. And please find a comfortable upright seat for a moment, perhaps joining your palms to meet at your heart. Sitting tall, rolling your shoulders back and down, and clarifying your sankalpa, your heart-rooted intention for your practice here today. As well as call to mind someone or something, a cause or community that is dear to your heart that you might dedicate this practice to. And together, let's create resonance as we share the practice by chanting 3 ohms. Fill up with a deep inhale. bow in towards your heart center, acknowledging your inner guidance, taking this physical practice at your pace and intensity. Let's come back to long, even breaths with the lips closed and gently narrowing the back of your throat, creating a subtle whisper through the nose, Ujjayi breathing. And as you inhale, raise your arms overhead, interlace your fingers, and flip your palms inside out. As you exhale, press your shoulders and hips downward, sitting up a little bit taller as you hug your front ribs towards your back. Take another breath in, then exhale, twist to your left side by turning your chest to the left, keeping your hips still. Inhale, back to center, lifting through the heels of your palms. Exhale, twist to your right. Let's try that a couple more rounds on each side. Breathe in, sit up tall through center. Breathe out, twist to the left. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twist. Last one, inhale. And exhale, twist. Breathe in and out, twist. And then come back to center. And let's extend the left leg forward. Step your right foot on the ground, just in front of your right hip. And as you hold on to your right shin with both hands, flexing your left toes back towards the shin, notice your ability to sit tall with ease. If it's feeling a little challenging, take your blanket and fold it to the thickness that you need to sit on the front edge of and allow a little more lift in the spine. And then circle your right hand to the floor behind your pelvis. Raise your left arm up. Press into the ground with your right foot. Press down with your sitting bones and then lift through the spine. Inhale. Exhale, twist to your right and then lower that left arm again on your right shin. Or if there's space to, hook the elbow outside of your thigh. And let's stay here for another 10 breaths so that each time you breathe in, you root downward through all the parts of your body touching the surface below. And as you breathe out, you continue to soften your belly and allow your rib cage to keep turning to whatever degree does not cause strain. Allow your shoulders to relax down as you lift up through the back of your neck, the front of your neck, the sides of your neck. Remember that you're in charge of your body here, and at any time that you need to back off a little, listen to your body's cues. Let this be a loving communication with your body in each pose. Couple more full breaths. The end of this exhalation, unwind your spine and drop your right thigh open as we prepare for Janu Shirshasana. Now, if you have a strap, you might find that useful. Step the ball of your left foot into the strap, whether it's a loop or the middle of the strap, holding the strap in your right hand only. So bring that sole of the right foot high against your inner left thigh. Press the left foot against the strap as you're pulling the strap so it's taut. And then roll your shoulders back and down against it tall. Place your left fingertips on the ground just to the left side of your left thigh. Inhale here. Keep sitting upright and twist to your left side. So keeping the hips still, you're turning the chest. Now breathe in here and exhale, begin to bow towards the front left corner of your room. Pause as you inhale, root down through both of your sitting bones, especially the right one, and stretch your spine diagonally towards that upper left corner of the room, continuing to fold if that's available. Now watch your neck and shoulders here, making sure the shoulders are not beginning to shrug or the chin is closing off the throat. Find the degree in which you can bow forward in this bit of a twist in which the breath is still easily flowing. You can listen to it. So this is revolved head to knee pose, or Parita Janu Shirshasana. And we're here for about 5 more breaths. Sense what's here now. And how about in the mind? One more slow inhalation. Find the fullness of that breath and then completely empty it. Firming in your belly, start to lift your chest, inhaling to rise as you remove the strap. Now let's step the ball of your right foot into it. Turn out. Actually, let's start with a twist. I almost forgot. Extend your right leg forward and please step your left foot on the floor just in front of your left hip. As you hold the shin with both hands, feel into your ability to sit tall here. It might be different from the first, depending on how open your hip flexor is here. You might adjust the prop and make it thicker or less. Flex the right foot and backstroke your left hand behind your pelvis. And then press downward to lift upward as you inhale, lifting through your crown. Exhale, twist to your left and either hold your shin with your right hand, or if it's available, you might eventually hook the right elbow outside of your left thigh. But notice what option is most suitable for you to create openness. Sometimes that hook might be available, but it might actually close off the throat if you're tensing the shoulders a lot more by doing that. So bring that sense of clarity in how you choose the variations of your postures. And we're about halfway through the 10 deep breaths here. Deep inhale, long exhale, then gently unwind your spine. And now let's drop the left knee open. Bring the sole of your left foot high up against your inner right thigh. Step the ball of your right foot into the strap. Hold the strap in your left hand. Place your right fingertips on the ground just to the right of your right thigh. And press your sitting bones down as you breathe in to sit up taller, relaxing the shoulders back and down. Exhale, turn your chest to the right. Inhale, sit up a little taller where you are. Then exhale, begin to bow towards the front right corner of your room. Pause, breathe in, root down both hips, especially the left sitting bone. Lengthening your spine. Keeping your shoulders relaxed away from your neck. Exhale, continue to fold. Can you feel the full extent of your in-breath? Match that length with your out-breath. About 3 more breaths here in Parita Janu Shirshasana. Now firm the belly in towards your spine slightly, press the pelvis down, and then lead with your chest as you inhale to slowly rise. Let's put the strap aside and make our way onto all fours in a tabletop position. Placing your 2 blocks to frame the front of your mat, just like that. And if you like to have cushion for your knees, you can unfold your blanket to however thick you need and place it right across the middle of your mat. Now let's set the wrists on the ground just beneath your shoulders, spreading your fingers wide and flat. But step your knees a couple inches behind your hips. As you listen to the breath, prepare to flex and extend your spine to it. Inhaling, glide your chest through your upper arms, roll the fronts of your shoulders back and lift your gaze, cow pose. Exhaling, scoop your belly inward, dropping your head slowly as you round your back, cat pose. Several more at your pace. Breathe in to lift your chest forward, tilting your tailbone up. Breathe out to contract your abdomen as you press the ground away with your palms and tuck the tailbone under. Keep going at your pace, at least 5 more cycles of cat-cow pose or Betalasana. Finish this exhalation, rounding your back and then relaxing to a neutral spine. And then we're going to explore some lateral or sideways movement. So as you breathe in, look over your right shoulder like you're shaking your head no, and sway your hips over to the right. As you breathe out, look over your left shoulder and sway your hips to the left. Inhale, hips and gaze to the right. Exhale, hips and gaze to the left. So we're contracting and then extending the sides of your torso. Let's take another 3 or 4 breaths here, even on both sides. And then lean back onto your shins, and we're going to offer our outer wrists a stretch after all that weight on the palms. So make your hands like fists and give yourself a fist bump like this. Then lean the backs of your fists about a foot forward of your knees onto the floor, flaring your elbows apart off the floor. Slowly shift your weight forward as you pay attention to the amount of intensity you want to feel in this stretch on your outer wrists and forearms. The breath flowing, and then notice the energy in your face right now. Is there any tension happening in the jaw or the eyes? Soften that. Feel into your neck. Maybe even gently draw figure eights or infinity symbols in the air with your nose tip. Gently stretching your neck. Feel into your shoulders, release them back. About 3 to 4 more deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, lean back onto your shins again and give your arms a gentle shake, like you just washed your hands and you're air drying. Maybe even flick out the fingertips like this. Anything that just needs a little shake. If you've been at the computer a lot today and you're feeling this kind of posture, roll out the shoulders. Notice what you know intuitively to do with your body. Your body's always telling you. A few more breaths. Notice if a sound needs to release through the mouth with a big exhale. And then grab your blocks and place them on their lowest height at the top of your mat, a little wider apart than shoulders distance. Place your palms flat on the blocks. so that your index fingers are pointing straight ahead and parallel to each other. Separate your knees, hips distance apart, feet too. And then tuck your toes and bend your knees as you pull your hips back. So to get a little more stretch in the lower back, I like to place the very back heels of my palms, the rear edges of those heels of the palms against the back edges of the block. So you can get a little more traction. And then pedal your feet slowly here in place, pressing down one heel as you straighten the leg. Maybe even swiveling your hips in that direction of that leg, and then switching the opposite heel down as the hips sway towards the straight leg. Few more rounds. Notice your neck. Can you allow it to feel even more relaxed here? As you press the blocks with your hands, allow your shoulders to rise back, really freeing up space in your cervical spine. 3 more breaths. Now begin to walk your feet forward, maybe about a foot closer to your hands, maybe a little more than a foot, and then step your feet apart as wide as the width of your mat. Parallel your feet. And then keep your left hand on the block. Place your right hand across the outside of your left leg. Now you can catch your outer left shin or your ankle, whatever is reachable for you. Root your right heel into the earth. Send your right hip back so the pelvis is not twisting with you. And then look underneath your left armpit towards the sky as you turn the chest. Soften your jaw. Relax your neck. Maybe even wiggle the head gently. Really release the neck. And let's give it another 3 breaths here in the spinal twist. Then set your right hand back onto its block. Cross your left hand to catch hold of your outer right shin or ankle. Root your left foot into the ground. Then spin your chest to the right and look under your right armpit towards the sky. Then let the head fall. Soften at the base of your skull, back of your neck. Soften your tongue. And allow 3 more full, spacious breaths to move through your body. If there's anything you've been carrying in the mind today that feels really heavy, know that you have the choice to put it aside, at least for this duration of your practice. So you might even visualize those heavy thoughts spilling out through the crown of your head, down into the earth, being transmuted. 1 more breath. And then placing that left hand on the block, step your feet about a foot in front, in front of the blocks or behind the blocks. Set the blocks on their tallest height. Press your fingertips onto them as you bend the knees. And draw your chest through your upper arms, creating a flat back as you peel the shoulders away from the ears. Half forward fold. Exhale, bow towards your legs. Let's take it like a slow vinyasa flow. 2 more times. Inhale, press into the blocks and reach your heart forward, lengthening the sides of your torso, sides of your neck. Keep that length. It might require bending the knees more as you exhale to bow forward. 1 more time. Inhale, lift the spine. Open the chest. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees a lot more. Relax the arms, release the head. And as you inhale, press down with your feet and slowly roll your spine upright to stand, lifting your head last. While this is a yin and restorative class, I do like to add some gentle movements so that we can open up the bodies more safely. So as you inhale, circle your arms apart, then join your palms at the top, look up. As you exhale, bend your knees so that you can fold forward with a flat back. Press your hands on the blocks. Inhale, lengthen your sternum through your upper arms. Exhale, bow towards your legs. Inhale, press your feet down and circle your arms to rise up. Watch your palms touch. Exhale, remember your intention and bless yourself with that thought as you trace your thumbs down the center of your body. 2 more half sun salutations. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, bow forward. You might remember this mantra that's being sung right now. Inhale, chest forward. Om Asatoma is exhale, forward fold, a calling for unveiling the truth. Inhale, rise up. Satya. Exhale, hands to the heart. Nice, and then from here, let's warm up the lower region of the body, like the hips and the legs. So take your blocks, step your feet at the top of your mat about hips width apart, and bend your knees, place the blocks alongside your heels. Step the ball of your left foot back, come into a high lunge, and set the knee down. Make sure that your legs are as wide apart as your hips, and see that your front knee is directly above the heel. Now we're gonna add a little flow, a gentle breath-led movement. As you breathe in here, extend your spine forward, root down to your right foot, sinking your hips in your lunge. As you breathe out, tuck your back toes and begin to straighten both legs as you scissor the right hip back and bow forward like you have a flat back. And those are the 2 movements with a breath. Inhale, lower the back knee into your kneeling lunge. Exhale, straighten both legs to your degree and bow. 3 more rounds with a breath. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid pose. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid pose. Last one, breathe in and breathe out. Now from here, bend your right knee, look forward and step your left foot forward. Switch, step the ball of your right foot back and lower your back knee. Establish the foundation first, that your legs are hips width apart and that your front knee is directly above the heel. Tuck your back toes and inhale in your kneeling lunge. Exhale, straighten both legs to your degree, scissoring the left outer hip back as you fold forward. To the breath, inhale, lower the back knee again, kneeling lunge. Exhale, straighten both legs to your degree and bow. Pyramid pose. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid pose. To your breath, continue for 3 more rounds. Breathe in and breathe out. Notice how it feels here now as you marry your movement to your breath pace and regulate your breath pace. Last round. Let the repetition bring a soothing to the mind, a one-pointed focus, a clarity. Return to your lunge, and this time lower the back knee and step the left knee back. Now we're gonna give the shoulders and the triceps a bit of a stretch as you were putting some weight on your hands. Place your blocks now on their medium height, just like this, across your mat, towards the front of your mat, like a train crossing. And then extend your arms forward, palms face down. Rotate your outer upper arms towards the ground so that your shoulder blades are spreading wider apart across your back ribs, and then press the shoulders down so you free up space in your neck. Now keep those 2 actions and bend your elbows. Place your elbows exactly your shoulders width apart onto the blocks. Then press your fingertips of the opposite hands into each other. Walk your knees back, a couple of inches behind your hips. Steady your breath as you trace your thumbs down the back of your head, back of your neck, maybe back between the shoulder blades to whatever extent you can reach as you drop your head freely and breathe. Now allow your chest to sink towards the ground as we're opening it here, but don't allow the belly to just be relaxed. Slightly lift the belly here towards your lower back to support it as you press your sitting bones towards the back wall. If you notice your elbows splaying wider apart than shoulders distance, come up and adjust, as that can start to become counterproductive. Use your elbows to gently press into the blocks so that your shoulders can glide further back, opening up space in your neck. This can be a helpful posture to combating the rounding in the back and the tension in the trapezius muscle as well that can come from sitting behind a computer for long periods of time or driving, commuting. So let's give it another 7 slow breaths. Without using words, can you sense the sensations you're experiencing, if any? Feel the quality of those sensations, how they might shift or move. Feel weighted or light. Using this keen sense of observation to sharpen your focus and present moment awareness. One more deep breath. Engage your belly a little bit more so that you can rise up gently. Then put the blocks aside for now. And then we're going to open up across the upper back a little further and thread the needle. So thread the needle is where we're going to start with the right hand, raise the right arm up, and thread the right arm under the left, bend to elbow to lower the right side of your head on the ground or on your block. Now there's a variation we've been practicing that you might opt for, and that's where you step your right foot out to the right so the sole of the foot is flat on the ground and the inner arch of the foot lines up with your left kneecap. You might try that, and if you find that it's way too cumbersome to be in the pose for 10 breaths, then you can just set the right knee back down. So raise the right arm up, take a deep breath in, then slide the right arm underneath your left bend to elbow. Now, if your head does not easily rest on the ground, place something under your head. That's why we have all these props around. Let yourself find some comfort, even though there might be some discomfort along with it, as you're opening up what might feel tense. Doing so with love as you breathe. Can you allow your shoulders to melt down away from your neck? And your shoulder blades to spread wide across your back ribs. Finding that twisting motion along your waistline underneath your rib cage. And we're down to about 3 to 4 more breaths. Breathe into anywhere your body may need your attention most. When you're ready, press into the ground with the left hand and gently rise to all fours. Let's take a pause in child's pose. Bring your feet together. Either reach the arms forward or make a pillow out of your forearms to rest your forehead on, or reach the arms back. Let's pause here for 5 breaths. Just sense anything that might be unwinding from that twist. Then as you're ready, crawl your hands forward, rise back to all fours. And as much as you can, set up similarly on your second side. So if you stepped out the right foot, step out the left foot, seal the sole on the earth, align the inner arch of the foot with the right knee. Inhale, raise your left arm up. Exhale, thread it underneath your right bent elbow. And notice if it might be useful to use a prop under your head here. Feel into your breath and guide it in your mind's eye into the areas in which your body may need a little more love for 10 breaths. Sense if there's any areas gripping in this posture. Notice if there are any feelings of stagnancy anywhere. Feeling a sense of embodying freedom, which we're uncovering internally. Feel that freedom in your breath. About 3 more rounds. As you're ready, press down with your right hand and slowly rise. And then again, bring your feet together and sink your hips to your feet. Rest your arms anywhere you like for 5 breaths of child's pose, listening in. Feeling the integration of that posture. Then place your fingertips alongside your knees on the ground and inhale, roll your spine again slowly upright to sit. Either sit directly on your calves in hero's pose or place a folded blanket if your knees are needing support or they're feeling uncomfortable, right up against the backs of your knees like this. Or you can sit up on a block or pillow right between your ankles. You're going to be here for just a moment, stretching the neck. So make sure that you're comfortable and can sit upright in the position you're in. Toes are pointed back, feet are not turned out to the sides. And see that your knees are no wider apart than your hips. Sit up tall, and let's just take a moment to roll out the shoulders. Breathe in, shoulders forward and up. Breathe out, shoulders back and down. Inhale through the nose, shoulders forward and up. And then like you're blowing out a far candle, exhale through the mouth, shoulders back and down. 2 more. Now relax the shoulders down and tilt your chin towards your sternum. Inhale, lean your left ear towards your left shoulder and tilt your chin up. Exhale, right ear towards right shoulder and tilt your chin down. Go slower if that's more accessible for you. Take another round in this direction, circling your head gently. And when you've completed that second round, take 2 rounds in the opposite direction at your own comfortable pace. All right, grab your 2 blocks, please, and place them behind your feet so that you can place your palms on them. And then spin your hands so the fingertips face back behind you as you place your hands on the blocks. Press your shins down and then gently, if possible, lift your hips and just stretch into your hip flexors in the front of your thighs. Your chest too, making sure not to overarch or compress the lower back. Press the shoulder blades down the back. Lift your frontal hip bones towards your front ribs and then exhale, gently lower to sit. Let's slowly come up on an inhale and slowly come down and exhale. 2 more. Breathe in, lift up. Broaden your collarbones, rolling the fronts of your shoulders behind you and releasing the shoulders downward away from the neck. Lengthen the back of your neck. At your exhale, gently lower your pelvis. 1 more time. Breathe in, lift up, stretch the tailbone towards your inner knees. Blossom your heart space open. And exhale, come down. Now you may prefer to have your legs in front of you as we sit for a calming breathing technique. Moving into the balancing breath work of Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, which means alternate nostril breathing. This can be helpful to balance the left and right hemispheres of your brain, feel a sense of calm in body and mind, and grounding. So it's done sitting upright, relaxing the shoulders, resting your left hand on your lap. You might take a mudra like the thumb and first finger to touch, palm face down, can feel focusing and grounding. Or pran mudra, which is the peace sign with a palm turned up, cultivating vital energy. The right hand is in Vishnu mudra, and that's where you stick out your right thumb, pinky finger, and ring finger. We'll be breathing just through the nose, mouth is closed, and when we cover the right nostril, we'll use the right thumb. When we cover the left nostril, we use the right ring and pinky finger. Alternate nostril breathing. So try to breathe slowly and gently, not forcefully. You might close your eyes and steady your inner gaze at your brow center or third eye center. Let's begin by exhaling this breath out through the nose. Hold your breath out. Right thumb, cover right nostril. Inhale slowly through the left. Hold your breath in. Cover left nostril. Exhale slowly through the right. Hold it out. Inhale right. Hold. Cover right. Exhale left. Hold. Inhale left. Hold. Cover left. Exhale right. Hold. Inhale right. Hold. Cover right. Exhale left. Hold. Last cycle. Inhale left. Hold. Cover left. Exhale right. Hold. Inhale right. Hold. Cover right. Exhale left. Hold. Release the right hand in the same mudra as the left if you're using one. And rest in stillness as you breathe naturally. Allow a moment to observe. Noticing any effects of that breathing practice. And if your eyes are closed, you might keep them closed as you slowly make your way down to the ground, setting up your body once again, and finally in corpse pose, Shavasana. Feel free to use any of your props to find comfort and stillness. Invite a sense of symmetry along the left and right sides of your body. As you close your eyes, land your attention deeper inward. Feel a surrendering of control in the breath. Yet staying completely aware as you lie still here, Shavasana. what's here now in your body, in your mental state, in your energetic presence. Allow your breath to gently deepen again, and let it inspire small movements in your hands and feet. Perhaps gently turn your head. Gradually ease into stretching your arms and your legs. Perhaps drawing your bent knees together into your chest, giving yourself a hug. And whether you turn over to your right side and pause a moment, or slowly roll forward, find a way that you can easily arrive, taking your time at a gentle seat. Comfortable, upright, grounded. We'll sit for our last 5 minutes in silent meditation, observing what surfaced in your practice today. We ask the questions, what gets in the way of your inner freedom that you can see the symptoms of in your physical body, in your mind, in your breath? Bringing that loving awareness, that clarity. Let's pause for 5 minutes here. Allowing just a few last moments here to sit in your own loving presence, that unconditional friendliness to ourselves. And as you leave this practice, how might you bring that loving self-awareness into what arises in your day next, especially when you find those obstacles on the path. We're going to dive a little deeper into the solutions that the Yoga Sutra suggests when you encounter those 9 obstacles. Tomorrow's practice. For now, please join your palms at your heart center. Remember the intention that guided you here today. And remember to whom you dedicated this practice. Let's close with one chant of Om. Allow a deep breath. Om. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.